Hello, hi, it's me. Just a quickie, as Tanya put it. I'll just say a quick hello to everybody that's been saying hey, hey Cheryl, hello, and Heather, you're on the bus. Heather's on the bus going to work. And what else? And Tanya's here, of course, and Stormy. Hey, Stormy. Um, I'll be happy to be home, but I'm going to be sad when I leave. But yeah, hey, Cobalt Dragon. Hey, Julie. Hey, Julie. And look, I'm not here alone. I did ask our wonderful get ready for an eye full of glitter and glitz. You ready? Here he comes. Enzo, check it out.
I heard Quickie and I got here as fast as I could.
Oh, yeah. So I thought it would just be a little quickie because data's expensive, but I've been missing doing the lives. I love the lives hi, Kibba, because I love talking to everybody. And what have I got? Yeah, don't bring attention to the fact I only had four fingers in the picture. Thanks. Jeez. It was an AI picture. Thank you, Tanya. Or maybe I have only got four fingers. Or Tanya, maybe I've only got one. But yeah, no, I've missed everybody, and I miss talking to Enzo. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd get on because tomorrow's Friday here in America, and I leave on Saturday. So tomorrow I'm going to Walmart because I need to get another suitcase. I have got suitcases coming out of my ears at home. I thought bringing one would be enough, but oh no, no. So I've got to go and grab another suitcase. And guess how much it cost, Enzo? I remember
Uh,
last time a lot.
I don't
Not the
know.
suitcase. The suitcase I can get for cheap at Walmart. But I looked up on the airport thing because when I was here last time in May and I left, I had to buy a suitcase because I had too much stuff. And when I got to the airport here in Reno to put it on the thing and whatever, she goes, "That'll be an extra $300." And I went,
Whoa!
$300 for yeah, for one suitcase. I already had my suitcase, but I had to put the other one on. So that cost $300. So I thought I better look it up again. Now it's $400.
Does it get
So,
its own
I'll,
seat?
oh, well, fair income. I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah, so that'll teach me for
Holy
buying
crap!
stuff, won't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Hi, Kathy. So I just thought, oh, Jesus. But I think I'll have to control myself. And next time I come to America, because it should be, if all things going well, if I can save the money and stuff, I'd like to get back here around about June, which is warmer, I think, June.
Oh yes.
Um, yeah, fair income, Tanya, indeed. But I just think I'll just wear a pair of jeans and maybe a jacket, and just when I get here, like come with an empty suitcase, if you know what I mean, and maybe a couple of dresses or something just light. And then but then that's what happens. I did that this time too. I didn't bring many clothes, but then I brought heaps of clothes. So now I've got more. It doesn't go to plan, but I can't
Would
keep.
it?
I think I'll have to bring an empty suitcase with a suitcase inside it, sort of like a
Yes.
Russian doll setup, and
Yep.
then I've got the suitcases, and make sure that when I get the flight, I say I'm going to have extra baggage because I think it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. But yeah, I tried to add a suitcase online, Heather, and it won't let me. It says, no, you have to, because I've got two flights, because I've got a connecting flight from Reno to LA, won't let me. I've got to do it when I get to the airport. So I'm spitting chips. Hi, Terry. But yeah, but anyway, my bad.
Would it
Doesn't
be
matter.
cheap? Would it be cheaper to just like box everything up and mail it to yourself?
Well, I thought about that until I went to two shoe boxes, or maybe not even a really big shoe box, box times two. I posted the first week I was here because I grabbed some Reese's peanut butter things and some different things that we don't know, and I threw all this stuff in these boxes. Posted it, $100 per box to post to Australia,
For a
and still not
shoebox?
there for a shoebox size, and they're still not there. I did the tracking and they're still in America somewhere, and that was on the 14th of November. So I thought, well,
Wow.
if I were going to post my clothing, which is, I'm looking at it, it's probably, well, it's a lot of clothing, but it could go in those plastic type bags, the big the big bags, and post it off. I reckon they'll cop me probably as much to put the extra suitcase. Like, it's mad. Yeah,
Wow, that's
Jesus.
I
Yeah,
had no
it's
idea it would be
really.
that much.
Yeah, I thought post it, but yeah, no, really. And I've got books here. I've met a couple of authors. So Janice is one author, and then I met another author, and he signed his books for me as well. And so I've got all these books, and books are heavy. And I thought, shit. But I put them in my little backpack, which is like a handbag. It's only small, like a handbag. And I'm hoping they don't weigh it when I get on the plane. Otherwise, but there you go. What's Terry saying? Good grief, I can't spell Silver Queen. Hope all was happy ghost hunting for you this trip. You know what, guys? I'll tell you what. Well, you'll see when I put my episodes together. But Enzo was with me and kept you all occupied while I was at the Washo. Thank you, Enzo. and I went to the
Don't
Mackie.
thank me if you haven't listened to it though.
Oh, I haven't listened to it. I still haven't listened to it because it uses up data. So I know I'm going to be in
your
it.
journey to the center of the earth was the tale I was spinning, but
Yes. Well, I'll be listening to it. I might make a short out of it and do animation. The night Karen went to the center of the earth by Enzo.
I don't know why it went there. It's just I was just random because I thought she's gonna jump in. I don't want to get in the middle of anything, so I'll just make up some kind of a thing that she might be doing. She might be doing this, or she might be looking at this, or she might see this, and somehow it just spun out of control that you were visiting mole men in the center of the earth or something. I don't know. It just went kind of crazy.
Well, that's all right. I can see Dantex said to say hello to you. That's Daniel. Daniel said to say hello. And hello to anyone he missed. Terry, yes. Oh, Terry, yes. I've been walking through. Terry was a guest at the Silver Queen the first week. The first week I was here, I'm pretty sure. They were looking. Oh, I think you were looking for ghosts, weren't you, Terry? I'm pretty sure you were. But they were concentrating on. Oh, well, you weren't even concentrating on the rose, but they knew about the rose story, so I set them straight. I told them who to look for. So there you go. And today I've been doing it the whole time I'm here. Every time I walk through the Silver Queen for whatever reason, because go up the stairs, I'll see someone looking at room 11, and I'll go, looking at room 11, are you? And they'll go, oh, yeah, are you from Australia? And I'll go, yeah. But why are you? And then I say, why are you looking at room 11? And then they tell me, and I go, don't bother. Look for John, Benjamin, or Jerry. And I said, you'll have better luck because I don't think Rose ever existed. But
so has
yes,
has the follow-up for every conversation for you for the last 4 weeks been, are you from Australia?
Yeah, I usually get, are you from Australia? I've had one person say, are you from New Zealand? And I said, nah, I'm not a Kiwi. And I said, but Kiwis are okay. I said, but Kiwis are all right, but I'm from Australia. But yeah. Terry was saying that her cousin Suzanne, Terry, you thought you saw a man, didn't you? I think that's what it was, or felt someone sit next to them. It was kind of odd, but I think that was after I told them about John, who passed away in the hotel from asthma. So. And that's the thing. Some people, when they're in the Silver Queen, say they hear someone snoring really loudly or like breathing really like that. But there's no one else in the hotel. It's usually if it's just the one. And I thought to myself, that's probably John dying because he died from asthma. So maybe he's reliving his death. But yeah. But hello, Bay Area ghost Daniel. And I think, and everyone's been saying they love Janice too. I think she's watching. She said she was going to try to watch, so she may be lurking. So if you are Janice, Janice and I are thinking of doing something together. It
was a lot of fun watching you two last week.
Oh, I love Janice. She's awesome, and she's I know it's all right that you didn't get to see me, but he's been a bit crook, guys. Daniel's been a bit crook. but I think he's getting better. So that's okay. That's why he couldn't get to visit either. But don't worry, I intend to be back next year, around about June. That's my plan. But you guys don't have because I was thinking the thing I'm planning, right, is to do something in Virginia City. I did tell Enzo this. I'll tell you in a minute, Terry. I'm reading the chat. I'm not popping it up, but I can see what everyone's saying. So I forgot what I was saying now because I read that. Janice and I are thinking of doing something that when I get back next year, like, you know how they do the PEX thing, or they do a not Comic Con, like a paranormal whatever.
Paracon,
I was
sure.
thinking, I was thinking of maybe doing something along the lines of during the daytime, come along and something like for example, go to the Mackey Mansion, and have like a walkthrough and a history lesson on the Mackey, so everybody knows the truth, not the little stories they get told that are actually not true. Okay, so there's a few things. I've been digging deep, guys. All right, so I'm just taking off my rings. That's better. But do it and have maybe a tea party in the gardens in the nice weather, in the Mackey Mansion underneath that big thing. Talk about the history, do little tours through, and then maybe I've already got some things in. I've got a lot of other places too that people have gone, that would be brilliant. Bring them here. We'll show them all of this, and maybe we'll have a barbecue or whatever. So daytime activities. Then of a nighttime, if everybody wants to go and do a ghost tour, or if somebody wants to go off and investigate, I can set them in the right direction for them to be able to do that at some kind of discount, because I'll talk to people. Because Virginia City itself is really keen to have people come here, and yes, all right, ghosts, but also the history, because if you learn the history of everything that's here, and understand the truth of the places and the people, then if you investigate, you've got a better handle on what you should be asking. Because now that I've been here so much and I've spoken to all the locals, not all the locals, but major players, if you know what I mean, and I've spoken to a lot of the historians that are now in their 80s, and have told me different stories. This town is like, there's mafia, there's murder, there's crazy people, there's rock stars, there's movie stars. Like, this place has got an awesome history, and
Wow.
I just want, Daniel, I just want everybody to feel that. And then, over night time, if they want to go and do a little investigation or whatever, I'll make sure that the different people involved give, discounts and bits and bobs and things. So it's a work in motion, and I'll have speakers. So Janice will come along, so I'm kind of going to work it out and see, and it's a good way for, if anybody here can come too, like, it'd be a good way for us all to get together and sort of, and give
sounds like
everybody
fun.
time to save or whatever. You know what I mean? But hi, Foxfire. But I don't know about the ghosties intimately, but I know that I love this town. It's just, I've got some murder mysteries that have happened here that I'm intrigued with, that have nothing really to do with hauntings. They could, they might, but it's kind of like, you think, well, if someone was murdered and their murder wasn't solved, would that leave a spirit or a soul to want them? And I've spoken to a lot of the locals here who explain that sometimes it's as if whatever is haunting the town wanders. Like, it's not necessarily one place.
Interesting.
Different stories. I even had a policeman tell me, or a sheriff. Wow. He was cute too. But see, I might be old, but I still look girls. It was a man in uniform. I do like a man in uniform. But so he told me a few stories. I got inside the Donovan Mill, and I had a really good look around there. All the little hidden treasures and stuff that are in the Donovan Mill. Um, uh, like the Donovan Mill's fascinating. I went to Piper's Opera House. Actually, today I went to Piper's Opera House and spent some time. Saw the little back, little back things like where people used to sneak in to do rude things in the boxes up the top. I never knew that, but there you go. So I learned a lot of stuff. So I've got, yeah, like I've been lucky that certain property owners have, for whatever reason, trusted me. I don't know why, but I'm glad they did. And I've been able to see things that sometimes people don't get to see, like even all the hidey holes in the Silver Queen. Like there's passageways and stuff that people just don't see, and I got to see them, and it's super cool. It's super cool. But then when you know the history and who lived there, who died there, when it burnt down, when it was rebuilt, all that sort of stuff, it's, I think if you're going to find anything ghost wise, you've got a better chance knowing the truth rather than, say, going into the Silver Queen and trying to talk to Rose,
Sure.
because there just wasn't. There really just wasn't. Well, all right, I can't say 100% there was never a Rose, but there was also a Rose who died. There's lots of Roses, all right? There's lots of Roses that were whores that died in a bathtub or died in a hotel room. So I think it's like maybe there was one person it happened to, and legend has spit it all out. Like even the stories with the Washoe. While I was here, I was told about a death that occurred. As I said to you, I think I told you guys mostly about it when I was there, but a death that occurred there in 1982 that was a hanging. That didn't happen. There was a shooting.
Really?
Someone did take their life, but it was in 1962 in the Washoe when it was apartments. And I've researched that one, so I know who he is, who he was. Like that's researchable. But the story in 1982 is actually false. That that didn't happen. It's like a mix-up. So I think what happens is people tell stories, and over time, just like Chinese whispers or telephone or whatever you call it, I think it just gets twisted and taken out of turn. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. But anyway, Terry says that. Hang on, what does Terry say? I had an experience in the miner's cabin so scary I won't go back. Oh, do tell, Terry, because I spent 3 nights in the miner's cabin and nothing freaking happened.
Oh no.
Yeah, I spent 3 nights, but then, mind you, I'd walk in and go, this is what I used to do. I'd walk into the miner's cabin, I'd go, hello, boys, I'm back. And then I'd walk in and I'd put, now leave me alone, I'm tired. So if there was anything there, yeah, if there was anything, I guess they left me alone. But yeah, the only thing that happened was a pussy cat that I had in there, the ginger cat. I've gone. What's his name? Cloudy, I think is his name. The pussy cat came into my room and he wanted to leave and he was snarling at the window. That kind of you know that kind of made me irk, but I didn't think it was a ghost or anything like that in the miner's cabin. I was actually more disturbed by the fact that while you're in there, people late at night are walking around the cabin taking photos and peering in the windows. And I was there sleeping. Like,
Oh,
and I talked to the owner of Gold Hill and I said, bloody hell. And he goes, yeah, I know. He said, we can't stop them because they can come up. He said, we kind of don't mind, but then when there's someone actually in the cabin, we do. He said, we rely on people to be, mindful, but they're not. They're just rude. And so they wander around. So I think that's probably what the cat was going crook at. There was probably someone looking in the window and it's gone, eh. But anyway, yeah, the cat's cute. What else have I missed? Oh, thank you, Cobalt Dragon. Yeah, I just figure find the history, and if the paranormal comes along, terrific. And if nothing happens, it doesn't happen. But in the meantime, you're learning something really cool and being here where it took place. Oh, and the other thing I thought was too, because I'm friends with Bernadine the mule,
the
because I
mule.
helped the mule, Bernadine. There was a man that was here I don't think I've got a photo of him up here. Stinky was his name. And, oh, well, hang on, Terry, I'll talk to you in a minute about that if you had to call the sheriff. But yeah, Stinky had a mule and he used to go uptown. He'd go to the saloons and drink and give Bernadine a beer or whatever he did. But he got ill and he died. But Bernadine still lives and she's not that old. So I was thinking too, people can come down and learn about Stinky and what he put into the town, and because people used to come from far and wide to see Stinky and get their photo taken with him, and I thought that's a nice way. Well, if Bernadine's still here, so dress her up. She wears long johns. Dress her up in her long johns. Put on a little hat. And when people come, they like if I set that up that someone can come here, people can come. Well, then they can even just walk down or I'll bring Bernadine up to the main street and they can all give her a kiss and get their photo taken with her. And I'm thinking there are little badges. I've got one at home, but I thought of getting more made up. So if anybody comes and gives her a kiss, they'll get a little badge that says, I kissed Stinky's ass as well. So I've got ideas, just a way to keep the town. It's a beautiful town. I love it. And yeah, so, we'll see. It's a plan in motion.
There's nobody locally there that does like ghost tours and just like goes all around the town and does it? Okay, there are somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah. There is a lady called Debbie Bender. She does a ghost tour. So she'll tell you different stories. Again, I've never been on one of her ghost tours, so I think she's reasonably confident that her stories are correct and true. So I'll go with that. But I probably, not this time, but maybe next time I'll go on one of those to see what history she does, because I'm pretty sure she researches. So, but yeah, we'll see. Hey, Foxfire, I thought I said hello to you, sweetheart, but if I didn't, hello. So Terry was telling me when she's at Miner's cabin, let me see. Let me see. I'll go back. I had an experience at the Miner's cabin. That's what she told us the first time. And then she had to call the police. Why did you have to call the police? Oh, okay. It was the spirits. They somehow made a propane smell, but fire department gauge registered no leak. It was wild and crazy. We left. Too crazy and scary. Oh, wow. I'm sure it was actually a propane leak. And just by the time that you got there. And that's the other thing too. I'm not discounting it, Terry, if that's what you feel, and the smell left. But I don't know. Sometimes I did notice when I was here the first weekend, I went on that Paracon thing, like a paranormal thing, and a group of 10 people, there was 30 people in total, so 10 people went to different locations to investigate. I sometimes wonder, people feed off of each other. So you would see someone go, did you hear that? And someone else would go, and you'd see people look as if to say no, but then someone else would say, yeah, I think it did. And then the other person would say, I think I saw a shadow. And it went on like that in a few different places. And I thought, sometimes I think people get in a group situation.
Yeah, they get amped up, yeah.
Yeah, they get a bit amped up and maybe see things that aren't there, or think they hear things that they don't hear, or pay much more attention to something that perhaps they probably shouldn't, like,
right.
Like on those little, I never really, what are they called? Spirit boxes, Sometimes I wonder, I just wonder. It's all right, Terry. We should talk one day. You can tell me about it. I believe you. All right, I believe you. I smelled friggin' cigar smoke at the washo, and then it just disappeared like that. So,
wow.
But yeah, so weird things can happen. But yeah, sometimes I think if you're in a group of more than a few people, sometimes I think it's a known fact, to be honest. I think you can actually think something's happening when it's not, because you're on edge or because whatever. But I'm not diminishing anyone's, because, I'm just being a bit of a, what's the word, skeptic. Yeah,
Got to be factual
probably
about
not.
it.
Yeah, probably not paranormal says that he hates spirit boxes. It is never getting one. Um, I actually don't think any of those things work, but they're fun when you're
Yeah.
bored. They're fun when you're bored. So like doing that sensory deprivation thing, that's fun. Like you put on the things and you close your eyes and you just listen to the and then it might say Bob is funny. Like you might get a sentence or you might not. Um, but it's kind of fun. And then when you get taken out of it, it's relaxing is all I can say. You kind of zone out. And then when someone actually brings you out of it, it's like, oh, because you were really in the zone. But yeah, I am a bit of a skeptic. I absolutely believe in something, but I'm skeptical when people go to places and get a ton of evidence in one go. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I was at the wash show all night, and spoiler, I still have to listen back. I haven't looked at my footage, okay, only a little bit. But in feeling wise, I sat there. I talked. I sat on the like I was in the dark. I did have a torch, a flashlight.
Flashlight. I noted
But yeah, but I sat there. I talked. I asked questions. I wanted something to run down the hallway toward me. I wanted to get scratched. I wanted to see all these things. Nothing happened. Not a noise, not a peep,
it.
except for
Wow.
some karaoke early on in the night. Oh, the only odd thing was the tap in the toilet, but that could just be old pipes. Like that was odd. That was funny. But that it's an old building. That was odd. I'll give it that. But yeah, so hi Jojo Bone.
That's old friend of mine, Jojo Bone. We used to do a show together a while back.
Lucky it's not Jojo Boner.
Well, sometimes you never can tell what'll happen with JoJo. So
Oh, Dantex. Okay. Look, thank you for coming in and saying hey. Yeah, and like I said, this is only going to be a quickie tonight anyway. So, mind you, I said it's a quickie. Oh no, half an hour. There you go. That's not too bad. But yeah, so I do believe in things, and but sometimes sometimes I think, oh no, like and then I had a thought. I thought maybe the fact that I wear my son's necklace around my neck all the time with his hair in it and stuff, and maybe Stephen is somewhere behind me, and when a little spirit comes to do anything, he says, "Piss off, that's my mum, leave
yeah,
her alone." So maybe it's Stephen's fault. No ghosties talk to me.
could
Maybe
be.
the one that was singing, yeah, maybe the one that was singing to me in Waverly Hills, he allowed because that was a happy ghost and it sang. I don't know.
The ghost is singing to
I don't
him.
know. Well, yeah, because we were singing.
Was it
So
a female voice or a male voice that was
yeah,
singing?
it was. I think it was a female. I'd have to listen again, but it sounded female. So it was like I've gone, "Ah," and then a few seconds later, it was sort of yeah. So I don't know. Maybe people used to sing when they were going into work, or maybe they were
Well,
just happy to hear
we
someone singing.
I think you just make the ghost sing because we've seen that before with you, where you've got the humming ghosts nearby.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. So I've still got to listen to the footage from the Mackie, the Washo. I want to listen. I did a few things while I was here. So I actually was lucky enough to be allowed to go into the apartment where I'm assuming it was probably the apartment I was in where Jerry took her life. I still think she was murdered. I got in there and asked a few questions, and we'll see if there's anything on that footage. Um, what else did I do? I did go and sit in room 11 and sort of said, hey, don't know who's here, but could it be John? Could it be whatever? And I said, if you want to say g'day, say g'day. They should be used to me. I'm always at the Silver Queen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And yeah, the Piper Opera House was interesting. I got to go underneath and I saw where there's still charred wood that they've reused in the Piper because it burnt down twice. It burnt down. It was on a different street altogether, and it burnt down.
Oh,
Then they rebuilt it, and it burnt down. So then they've rebuilt it again, which is its current incarnation. But they used Mr. Piper decided to use remnants of wood from everywhere around Virginia City after the big fire. So in actual fact, a lot of the wood in Piper is sort of from the first one that burnt, but then he's gotten bits of wood from all over town. So Piper is kind of made up of a lot of buildings that burnt down, and he reused some of the wood and stuff. So that's interesting. Hey, Antoine. Terry says she heard a woman sing at the crypt at the Washoe Club. See, people get all this stuff. I get nothing. I sat in the crypt for ages. I've sat in the crypt for ages. Nothing. So I don't know. Nobody wants to talk to me.
I felt so bad that you went on a couple of these things and just got skunked on them. That's the worst.
And I mean, you'd think of a female on her own in a so-called haunted location would be a great target for anything because, oh, well, she's no threat. She's by herself. But you know what? I also think maybe spirits just get sick of people coming in. Spirits probably, if they're what do you call it? If they're not what do you call it? Where they're just sort of there, but they don't know you're there. I've gone blank. They're not really a spirit that haunts. They're just, it's kind of like something being relived over and over. I've gone blank.
Okay.
But
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. Yeah, it's sort of not an intelligent haunt. So maybe it's not an intelligent haunt. So maybe, I don't know. But then if it is an intelligent haunt, and people come in, like groups of 10 or 20 people come in and go, "Are you here? How did you die?" What do you do? What did you do here? Like, they must. If I were a ghost and I got people coming in asking stuff like that all the time, I'd think, oh, fuck. I'd probably scare them just to get them out of there.
Yeah. I died of boredom from your crappy questions.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Maybe it's better with a group of people because of the energy thing. Maybe when you're just one person.
Yeah.
But then I have many people who are just one person who tell me they had experiences, and I think, well, why aren't I having any? I'm not skeptical enough. I mean, I do hear things like I heard stuff at the Washoe. I heard creaks, bangs. I heard voices, but I knew that the voices I heard were the little apartment right next to what they call the ballroom in the Washoe. They had their TV on. So I did hear a voice, but it was their television. Then I sat there for a bit longer and I couldn't hear much. Like when I was down with you, I said I heard the karaoke very, very loud. And then when that finished, I was sitting in the ballroom up near the windows on C Street, and you could hear really clearly people just walking on the footpath going home and their voices. So noise can carry from a long way.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear anything. I was so disappointed. I didn't hear anything I couldn't explain. If I were jumpy, if I were someone who didn't think, oh, well, it is cold, it's freaking freezing, so the wood's contracting, which it does, same as it expands when it gets warm. I know the noises of an old building when the wood comes in and goes out. So those noises. So, but other people may not think about that. Other people might think, oh my God, that's someone walking, when it may well have just been the timbers expanding and whatnot.
Yeah, unfortunately,
so that's what I mean.
It's less fun, but you always have to consider those mundane kind of things. But speaking of cold, did you want to mention what you said you did today for the first time ever?
I walked in snow for the first time ever, and it was going in my face. So because we've got snow in Australia, but in the mountains, so it's not like I see snow every day. And so I got to see snow for the first time. So it was
That's
pretty
exciting.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Adventures with Beth. That's what I think too. I just think the ghosts go, yay, it's only one person. We don't have to talk to her. I'm going to sleep. See you later. Yeah. Yeah, so I've done a few firsts. First Thanksgiving, oh, excuse me. I had a coconut cream pie. I've
You've
never had a
never had a
coconut
coconut
cream
cream.
pie.
And what did you
Never had
think?
coconut cream pie. Yummo. Like, it was
This is pretty good stuff.
delicious. Oh my God. And I thought, now I know why Gilligan liked Marianne so much, because that's all she ever did. Gilligan.
Amongst other things, I'm sure.
Well, amongst other things. And pumpkin pie, of course, and sweet potato casserole. What else?
Oh,
I'd never had any of that stuff, but this Christmas, my kids are in for a treat because I'm going to
oh,
get the ingredients, and I'm definitely something else called ambrosia, where you put fruit and lots of fruit
oh,
and
fruit and
what's it
wine.
called? Cool Whip, Cool Whip, Cool Whip, whatever it's called, Cool Whip. I think that's what you call it. I don't know. It's
Cool
really
whip.
creamy.
Yeah,
Yes, you know what I'm trying to
cool
say.
whip.
Cool, cool whip. Yes, but we don't have cool whip in Australia, so I'm just going to have to whip up some actual cream, and put that through. But that was really nice. That was really yummy. Yes, Tanya, I did like the pumpkin pie, funnily enough, and the sweet potato.
Did
You
you?
wouldn't have thought. So Tanya and Cheryl, they've got this thing they call sweet potato casserole. So I'm thinking savoury, right? A savoury dish. No, no, no. They cook the sweet potato, and they put a layer of sweet potato, brown sugar, and cinnamon. I'm pretty sure it was cinnamon.
A little, sometimes, yeah.
My friend Connie, yeah, sometimes, but my friend Connie, so I had it done two different ways. So one way was just the sweet potato, brown sugar, and then marshmallows on top, right? And that was
Mm-hmm.
mashed. That's how Janice did it. And that was yum. And then Connie, my friend, she did it with sliced um, sweet potato, cooked, um, brown sugar, butter, then a layer of apples. So she sliced up some fresh apples, put a layer of
Ooh.
apples, and then another layer of sweet potato, sugar, butter, apples, and then until it got to the top. And then she baked that for 30 minutes or something. Then she pulls it out and she puts the marshmallows, puts it back in, and the marshmallows all melt. And I said, "Oh, so that's dessert." And she goes, "No, no, no. You have it with the turkey, like with the hot meal." I went, "Mm." And I thought, that's really weird, but it tasted delicious. It was really
It's
nice. It went
really good.
really well.
It is good.
Yes, it's really good. So I'm going to make that. I'm going to make ambrosia, a boysenberries, chocolate, marshmallows, cream, and yogurt. Oh, yeah, similar, except this one it was cream, Tanya. So yes, I'm going to make a ambrosia. I'll probably just have. I don't know if I'll cook a turkey. I might just have like a big pork roast or something. But I'm going to do those dishes. I might cook a turkey. We'll see. Probably chickens. My kids don't really like turkey, so I'll
Yeah.
probably just cook a whole heap of chickens. But and the stuffing.
I was
So
about to say, I remember you being very entranced
impressed
by
with the
that
stuffing.
stuffing. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuffing was delicious. So I'm going to make all those things because normally Tanya would know, Cheryl would know, any other Aussie in here would know that for Christmas dinner, if it's stinking hot, most people don't will have a barbecue and some salad. Like honest, it's too hot.
Right.
Um, but if it happens to be raining, which sometimes it is, Christmas, we'll cook up a roast lamb, roast pork, roast ham. But we have roast potatoes, and I haven't seen you guys eat roast potatoes as yet, but you probably do. Like I haven't
Oh, yeah.
had an American cook me a roast. So we'll have roast potato, roast carrot, roast onion, stuffing, like it's a roast and lots of gravy. But we don't have all those sorts of desserts. We might have Christmas pudding with custard, which I like the custard. I hate the pudding. It's all fruit, like fruit cake. Um, um, uh, or trifle. I don't know if you know what a trifle is, but that's like a sponge with jello or jelly, and it sets, and then you put a layer of fruit and a layer of custard, and then repeat that up to the top with fresh cream on top. I love it.
Oh, okay.
I love a good one. But yeah, so we do Christmas very different. But I think I'm going to introduce some of the American Thanksgiving ways because it's super yum. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there you go.
Sweet potatoes get a kind of a bad rap. They're pretty tasty things. They're
Oh,
very
I love
versatile
sweet
what you can do with them.
potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally just have either mashed sweet potato, or I'll slice them up and stir fry the sweet potato with my stir fry veggies, or I might roast them. But I've never thought of making a sweet. And someone said that if you don't have pumpkin, you can also make the pumpkin pie with a sweet potato because it's
Yep, they're
very.
they're they're
So there you go.
similar. Similar texture, similar
Similar. It's a
taste,
bit
but
different.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but there you
they're
go.
both
I
good
have a
though.
trifle dish on a pedestal. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's what's I've got lots of things when I get home. I've got a whole heap of editing to do, a whole heap of it's funny. I had Janice on my live, but I also interviewed her for my 5 haunting questions. And I thought, but that's all right. I'll put out a 5 haunting questions for anyone who missed the live. But yeah, and so I've also kept away from people in the chat will know I have kept away from the dramas that some of the debunkers are having at the moment with a couple of young boys, Sam and Kobe or Colby or yeah, all that. I've kept away from that. I'm finding it rather stressful and depressing. Like, ugh. So I just much rather have a giggle and go crook at people that are telling stupid stories. That's about it. Um, yeah, but so I'm just, and I can see that my Maisie isn't here, but it's probably the wrong time of night in Scotland. She's probably either at the shops or in bed asleep. But
Probably in bed.
yeah, so I think everybody just wants to have a giggle and a bit of a laugh, and whether or not people agree with the things I say, that's okay. They know that I mean well. So if, and like I said to Terry earlier, if she had that experience of Miner's Cabin, she had that experience. To belittle that, I'm just going to say, when I was there for 3 nights in a row, freaking nothing happened. Maybe you could have if I had walked in and said, "Okay, boys, I'm home. What do you want to tell me?"
Bring
Oh,
it
yes, then
on.
Tanya,
Yeah.
she'd still be asleep. Bring it on. But instead, I'd already been out and about. That was when the PEX event was on here, and I had already been out most of the night investigating with Jason and Cassie and Levy, and I was exhausted. I did not want to come back to my hotel room, and if there was a ghostie there, I didn't want to deal with that. I just wanted to go to sleep. So that's why I said,
Yeah.
leave me be. So I guess they were polite gentlemen if they're still there and did as I told them to. So there was a few places I didn't get to while I was here, which was unfortunate. Janice and I were going to go to the Nevada State Prison, but the
Oh, you didn't
lady
make
that,
it there.
yeah, we didn't get there because it's not heated. There's no
Oh.
heating. There's no power. So the lady who runs it, Susan, said, "Look, I want you there," but she said, "We'll freeze to death. It's fucking cold." And I thought, yeah, well, I can feel how cold it is here once it gets to about 5 o'clock. And I thought, yeah, I don't really want to freeze my bottom off in a like it's uncomfortable. It was really cold here investigating some of the places in town, and it's not comfortable. Like you're really cold and ache from the cold. So I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, all right, but we're going to do that when I come back. If I come back, if I make the money to get back, if I can save the money for the airfare and stuff like that. But it's my intention to get back. I really want to, and maybe you can come in. So maybe you can save and you can come and to
I could
Virginia
might
City too.
swing out there and see what this is all about. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really great place. I think people say, "Oh, Virginia City, there's not once you've seen it, you've seen it." I've been here how many times now? 3, so a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A total of 9 weeks I have spent in Virginia City
Wow.
altogether, and I have still not seen everything. I haven't. I still couldn't. I was intending to go to the St Mary's Hospital, which is now an art centre. My timing was off because a family comes and stays in it over Thanksgiving. So, bugger, I didn't get to that. There was a whole heap of places I wanted to get to, and there's still heaps. Like I've been here many times, and I still haven't seen everything. So for anyone to say, "Oh, I was there for a week and I saw all I wanted to see," then they don't know what's here. Like I'm still finding little gems like, oh wow, I didn't know that was there, that sort of thing. So
That's
it's a pretty
great.
cool place. Oh, good old Julie, you can come too. But yeah, so I'm going to see if I can put something together. I thought, look, I already, like I say, I know a lot of people here, so I know that if I put something together, they're all keen to have people learn the history. Um, and I've already asked a few people, hey, if I did this, is there some way that people can get maybe something for nothing? You know, like a voucher or something to help them with costs, or discounts for hotel rooms or something like that, because I have noticed when I've gone to things before that's not covered. That would cost a fortune to cover that, like to say to somebody,
Yeah.
oh yes, all inclusive, like they'd be paying, like you could do it, but they'd be paying a fortune, so it's up to them. But I think it would be better if the hotels and stuff here in town know that people are coming, and therefore they'll give them a discount on a room. And it's only 2 nights anyway, maybe 3 if they want to stay longer. I mean, I did it that way, and it worked out better for me because I was able to stay where I wanted to stay rather than stay where someone maybe put me. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll work out things and see. And then if anybody wants to come along, it can be like a big party. You know, it can be fun. Yeah. So anyway, I keep knocking
That
my
one saloon
computer.
you went to there a couple of weeks ago looked great.
Oh, the Red Dog. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Where was I? It could have been the Red Dog. Oh, the Red Dog's great. I was there for dinner last night. Um, it got a bit rowdy just because of the music. The music was loud. So I'm getting old. So I like to eat my dinner and be able to talk. So I ate my dinner, but then it got really noisy. So we actually left because we couldn't hear each other, which is a
Yeah.
shame. If they had little breaks, but they don't break. Once they start playing, they just keep playing. So if it was like, how people do sets, if they had a
Yep.
little 10-minute set and then have a break so people can hear each other. But I
Yeah.
do love the Red Dog. That's fun. The Washoe Club is good to go to in the bar when you know all the locals. That's fun. But it's a fun place anyway when you're in there having fun as a group of people. So um, where else have I been while I've
Because
been here?
it's
Oh,
not really
God.
a like touristy kind of place, though. Really, is it? I mean,
Yeah, well, no, no, yes, okay, I see where you're going. Yes, tons of tourists come through, and
oh, really?
and they rely on tourists, but it's not gaudy. There's nothing here. There's no modern buildings allowed to be built here at all. So it's like you come back in
Oh,
time. There's no high rises. There's no big concrete monstrosities, like it's all the old buildings. Is so because yeah, but they're not allowed to build anything here that is not within the look of the town. So you've still got your wooden footpaths, the old-fashioned wooden
oh,
footpaths.
wow, that's cool.
Um, yeah, I wish they still had the dirt roads, but oh well, that probably wouldn't do when they've got lots of
So,
snow.
so is part of your the reason you need a second bag to go home? Did you buy yourself a cowboy hat?
I did last time. I did. It's home.
Ah,
I brought myself. Hang on.
oh, we're gonna get to see
Hang
some of
on.
the wares that you've purchased. What
The where's
do you got?
yeah. I brought a what you call it hat. I will not need this at home. Look.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. And
Very
I brought
nice.
another one too, but I'll take them. I'll take them home because well, I don't really know why, because we don't get cold enough to wear them. But I like how they look. You never know. I might go somewhere cold. But I'll bring them back with me. I'm sort of, yeah, I'm torn. I thought, oh, maybe I could leave some clothes here for when I come back. But then I thought, oh, but then what if I don't get back? And then I haven't got my clothes. So I thought, oh, I don't know. I don't know. But if I were rich enough, I'd buy a place here. I really would. I'm not rich enough. I really would. And I'd catch all the wild horses in a big, big paddock and feed them every day. And yeah, I've made friends with um, the wild horses.
Do they come around
They
every
come
day?
every day. They come
Oh,
up. A
wow.
couple that wouldn't let me touch them and would flinch, like, oh, don't touch me now. Let me run my hand down their neck, and then they run away. But there's one I've named Nippy, and I named him. He's the boss. Right? I'll tell you a funny story. I am reading the chat so I can see what people are saying. but you know me, I'm talking too much. I wouldn't say it's a sexy beanie, Tanya, but you know, it's cute. It's fluffy. Um, yeah, the wild horses were here yesterday morning, and I went out and I give them a pat, and I do not feed them because that's not allowed. Um, but you know, sometimes they knock things out of your hand. What are you going to do? Because they're
Oh,
big
well,
creatures.
they're big,
Sometimes
clumsy
they knock,
animals.
they're
Sometimes
big
that's going to
clumsy.
happen.
Yeah, but I went out there and I saw him and I gave him I give Nippy a kiss on the nose if I can manage it. Sometimes he lets me go, and then he goes like that. So I don't know that he actually lets me. I think it's just I think I think it's just like get in there quick, and then he flinches. But but I call him Nippy because when I'm out there and I'm doing anything, he'll grab. I've got a big black jacket I wear because I'm freaking cold, and he grabs it and he nips it and pulls at me. Like he's not trying to bite me. He's just getting my attention. And I like, all right. And then I pat him, you know. But then I came inside, I walked back out, and he, the boss horse, Nippy, was going crook or yelling at the little girl horsey, and they're going mee, 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 and she's going "Ugh." And I said, don't you two fight, because I was waiting for them to do a fight or something. No, they weren't fighting, they were courting. And I've,
Oh,
I've never seen horses do
fighting.
that. Yeah, they were fighting, and I've never seen horses do that before. And they did it right in front of me, and I actually went, ah! I went, no. And I thought, well, I'm glad they weren't fighting, but I thought, oh, no, she's going to be having a baby this time next year, because I think they're pregnant for nearly a year, horses. I'm
Oh,
not
wow, that
sure on that
long?
one. Yeah, I
Wow.
think so. I'm not sure really, but yeah, so I think they'll miss me too, Cheryl, because they're here every morning.
I
Every
didn't
morning when I
realize
walk out.
they just made their rounds like that.
Yeah,
That's
they
funny.
do. They walk around the town. They've got their different places that they stop and forage for, plants or whatever. The other day I saw them in someone's garden eating all the flowers out of the out of the pots. And I thought, oh well, whatever, who cares? And most people don't care. There's some people who do. There's some people in the town that don't like them. But I'm told that those people are Californians. Yeah.
Ah,
They've moved here from California and they want everything to be like California. Those horses, we planted grass and they're eating our grass. Well, duh, you're in the middle of a frigging desert. Don't plant grass. How's that for a thought?
when you
Um,
mentioned the flowers, I was like, that's got to be like the new person on the block to not know that they're gonna eat anything
Eat the
that's green.
flowers, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
really cold here anyway, so things are sort of starting to die off anyway. So the horses are technically doing them a favour because they're pruning back
Yeah.
all the dead flowers.
Yeah.
But it was funny. But yeah, this place, and there's deer. This morning I fed a deer some bread, and they come up and eat out of your hand. The mama does. The babies stay back. But the mama deer, there's deer wander all around. There's the wild horses. I still have not seen a live raccoon. I still have not seen a coyote, a bear, or a mountain lion. So I'm still fairly disappointed. But maybe one
Two of
day.
those, I say
But
it's probably good you didn't see. Coyotes, they're a nighttime thing. You got to keep an eye out for them at night.
yeah, but I don't think they're sort of around here because I think they'd send. Well, I think the mules would probably kill them. To be honest, I think the mule
Probably
would give them a
would.
good kick, and they. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think that's why they don't bother the mules.
Did you ever
But
hear
yeah,
any yipping in the distance while you were there
no,
from the
not
coyotes?
well.
Because
No,
if you've
last night I was woken up by the wild horses because there's two groups. There's one group that they're all kind of brown with the little thing on their face, and there's another group where there's a white horse with them. So there's four horses in one group, four in the other, and I heard me, and that woke me up. And then I hear cloppity 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 clop running down the road. So I think there was a territorial thing going on because the white horses know me as well. The white horse and the others were coming here, but now I think my little mate Nippy and his friend Morgan, I've named them, this is their place. I'm their person. So you bugger off. It's pretty cute.
my
Hi, Joe.
territory.
Yeah. Hey, and Julie, I understand that the weather's getting cooler and you're hurting more because I can tell you now, I get sore knees because I did too much aerobics and karate when I was younger. So my knees, I'm paying for it. I'm fine in warm weather; they don't bother me. But here, oh my god, my knees are aching. So cold
Yeah, I
weather's
imagine
not
it's real
great for
cold.
aches
Yeah.
and pains. Yeah. So, um, but yeah, so I'm having a ball. But I was really happy to get into the Donovan Mill. That was really interesting. Um, I'm working on when I come back next time, again because now I know different things about the place. I really want to go inside. There's a place called Cabin in the Sky, and I think it is still owned by, like, actually owned by a gentleman who was well, he owns a what's it called? It's a prostitute thing. It's got Mustang Ranch.
Oh,
Um, yeah, he owns a Mustang Ranch,
oh,
and I'm
that.
pretty sure. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I am told he does still own the Cabin in the Sky, but I'm still not sure about that. I don't know if that's correct. But I know other people, and so I thought when I get back next time, I'm going to ask if they mind if I go through and have a look at it and visualize, because it's when you see people investigating it on the television, on the screen, you don't really get a feel for what it's like. But
Right.
all the people I know here went there when it was a restaurant, and they said they served the best steaks, and it was a really great, fun place to go. In fact, it was really good. But then a couple of guys took it over to manage it or whatever, and it went out of business. And of course, the man who does own it was out of the country, if you know what I mean. After a murder happened outside the Mustang Ranch. So I've, yeah, so it's all really interesting, but it's totally awesome. So there's a few locals that are still from that era, the when the mafia was pretty, like, that's the other thing people don't realize. The mafia was Al Capone um, owned places in Reno, a brewery in Reno back in the day, as well as his Chicago ones, and he owned a brewery here. But I don't know if it was a tax dodge for him because he gifted it to someone else who ran it for quite some time until he passed away.
Oh,
So see, I know all the ins and outs, and there's still people here. They're old, but they remember the era of the late, like the mid 50s, to like all the way through, and they've got some stories to tell. Like there's tons
oh, I
about this
bet.
town tons that people don't know, and I feel honoured that they talk to me. Um, so yeah,
Stuff like
I'm
that, where
I'm
it's like that living history. That would be like that would actually be like a good like a group thing where you just get a couple of old timers there that have been around for
Yep.
a while that can tell you a little bit about the local histories. I'd love to sit down and listen to that.
Well, that's what I plan to do. The one fellow called Dennis, who I've got his books. He signed them for me. He's 82 now, I think. Maybe he might be a little bit older, but I spoke with him when he was at the Sutro Tunnel, because I went to the Sutro Tunnel as well. I got into the tunnel. um, that was cool. That was super cool. So I could see right down the back. But anyway, that's another story. But Dennis was there, and I said to Dennis, "Now, Dennis, I intend to come back in June." I said, "So you've got strict orders from me that you're not to go anywhere." He knew what I meant. And I said, at least like 100 not out should be your age. I said, because you've got more stories to tell. And I said, I want to take you out for dinner with your lovely wife, and you're going to tell me stories. But I've got his
Oh
books,
man,
so I'm going to read them too. He did a lot of
it's got a book.
archaeological digs as well in the area, and so he knows a lot about the native area, native Indians or
Oh,
Native Americans
sure.
in the area. I'm not being disrespectful. I just still trip over because that's what we used to call them when I was little. But so he's got, yeah. So I've got his books to read, and then that way when I come back, I can go, hey, I read the book and you said X, Y, and Z, and I want to see. I don't know if he's up to it, but I would love it if he could talk to everybody, come and do a little talk and answer people's questions and tell them stories about back in the day, because he was also a writer for the newspaper, for the Virginia Chronicle. So you've got the Virginia City Chronicle and you had the Territorial Enterprise. But yeah, so it's all pretty cool. I'm yeah, I'm excited. And I don't know, I can't quite understand why I am so drawn to this place, but when I'm here, I have no desire to go anywhere else. It's really weird. So
Wow.
I don't
That's
know,
pretty cool,
but I
though.
just
I mean,
yeah, but I just love it, and I just think I think people could appreciate, and it's a nice place to visit. Like it's easy to get around the town. You're oh well, okay, you've got hills like this, and yet you do struggle. I'm okay now with the hills and the breathing because I've been here a month, but the first week and a half,
yeah, it's
like you think
tough.
you're gonna die. Yeah, yeah, but
What
yeah,
is
so I don't know, but I
what
love it.
is their
So I
elevation
want to,
there?
yeah, and I like visiting here, and now people when I walk down the street, I get Karen, and I'm like, I went into the roasting house, my favorite coffee shop. I went in there. I go
Oh,
in there every morning. I get my mocha with cream on top. And Mandy is the owner, and her son Robert does the cooking. And then there's a beautiful. You saw her if you watched my not Washo, Mackie Mansion live stream. Eileen, she's a barista in the roasting house. She was at the Mackie with me and with her little boy, which was really cute. It was interesting too. Her little boy kept thinking he could see something out the corner of his eye, and I thought to myself, well, he is only little. Maybe he can see something out the corner of his eye. But
maybe.
but yeah, so she's gorgeous. Like they're just all beautiful people. The people I've met, the people and they hug. I'm a bit of a hugger. Like today, I won't say where I was, but there was someone in town. They live here, and I was asking questions of someone else, and I could see I was looking over at this lady, and she was patiently waiting to speak to the person I was speaking to. But as I'm looking at her, I'm thinking, "You're upset," like because she was. I could see she was upset, and I said, I said to the person I was talking to, I said, I think she wants you. And they went, oh, yeah, but let me finish my story. So they're talking to me, unlike me usually talking to them. And then I looked at her and I went, hang on. I said, are you okay? I said, are you all right? And then she was crying. And I went, oh, my God. And I didn't, I recognized her. I think I had seen her around town before, but I just wrapped my arms around her and let her cry. I said, are you okay? I said, is it because your friend died? Because her friend passed away. There's a local who passed away. No, she said, just some people are assholes. So someone had said something to her and got her all upset. So she was obviously coming to talk to this person to say, oh, they said what.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I just thought, poor thing. But the population, Tanya, it's only a little, maybe 2,000, and that
Oh,
includes the surrounding areas,
probably for
like
the whole
in
surrounding
town.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, not all the surrounding areas, but yeah, 770 people. Yeah, that's what you said, Enzo. Could be,
Yeah, that's what
but
Google
yeah,
says for Virginia City itself. I'm sure there's surrounding areas. It would probably be around 2,000, probably.
yeah, that could be right
But
because there are houses and stuff here and apartments, so
for
that number could be right. It is only tiny, but so far as because you've got the Highlands, so you've got Virginia City, then you've got further up the mountain, you've got the Highlands, and then you've got Silver City, Gold Hill, and then on the other side you've just got Reno. But coming from Virginia City to Carson, you've got Gold Hill, which is just 10 minutes out, or if that, and then you've got Silver City, which is another 5 minutes. Like so, it may yeah. So with the surroundings, about 2,000. There's not many people here. Um,
it sounds like
but
there's still
I
plenty of stuff to do because it doesn't sound like
oh
you had like free moments where you're like, oh God, I'm bored. It
yeah,
sounds
no,
like
not
you
at
had a
all.
really full trip and you were there.
Yeah, I
How
had
long have you been there? 4 weeks?
4 weeks, and I still haven't done everything I wanted to do. I've still been
Wow.
well. You can see I talk. I talk. You all know I talk.
What?
What?
I didn't know
But
that.
I just talk the another example, there was a gentleman when I was having my coffee day before yesterday. A gentleman came in and he was wearing a veteran's cap, like he had his who he served with on his cap, and he was sitting next to me having a coffee, and I didn't know him, but I looked at his hat and I said, "Oh, excuse me," and I introduced myself, and he introduced himself, and I said, "Did you serve? Were you? Is that who you like? Your whatever you call it? What do you call it? Regiment, whatever." Um,
Unit, something
and he
like
goes,
that. Yeah.
"Yeah," and I said, "Vietnam," and he went, "Yeah," and I went,
Oh,
"Oh," and I said, "Wow." I said, "Thank you." And I shook his hand and I said, "I'm so sorry that when you came back, people were horrible to you boys." And then we started the conversation and we spoke for about, I don't know, a good 20 minutes, I suppose. And then when he left, I gave him a hug and he goes, "Thank you, ma'am." He said, "You've made my day." And I went, "Oh." And I said, "You're welcome." And he goes, "No, I hope I see you again," he said. And it just made me feel like I spoke to him because I was truly interested in him telling me his story. Um,
yeah.
and he, I guess, maybe not many people talk to him about that. And he was happy. He was happy I was
It
interested
is
and appreciated.
Vietnam era folk are. It's a touchy subject. If he's wearing a hat that says Vietnam on it, then he's probably open to discussing
Yeah.
it.
Well, it didn't
But
say
there's.
Vietnam. It just said he's who he served with, part of who he was
Oh,
with.
okay.
But I asked because I looked at his age. He wasn't old enough to be at World War II or Korea, but he was old enough to be a Vietnam veteran. So that was interesting. He told me a few what it was like when he came back and stuff. So that was really interesting. There's more than 77 people, Kibba. And no, it doesn't include the wild horses or the deer or the raccoons, which I never see. But yeah, no, but I do love
So
it
I
here.
know you can't fit one of those horses in that extra bag you bought, but maybe one of those deer.
Well, I could wear it around my neck and say it's a coat, just hanging over. But no, they're
Put a
pretty
leash
big,
on it.
those deer.
This is my
No,
emotional
there's
support deer. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, they're as big as me. They're so cute. I don't know how anybody can shoot them. They've got these big eyes and they just look at you and they tippy toe over and they're so gentle when they eat out of your hand. They're so sweet. And the little babies are cute. But anyway, tis what it is. If I lived here, then I'd have an animal sanctuary. I said to my friend, well, I did ask the local sheriff. I said, "Hey, sheriff," I said, "some people tell me I'm not even allowed to pat the wild horses, that it's a federal offence." And he laughed. He said, "No." He said, "It's not a federal offence to pat a horse." He said, "A wild horse or any other." And I went, "Okay, cool. So I can tell them they're wrong." He said, "Yes, you can." I said, "Is it, am I allowed to feed them?" And I said, "I think that is a federal offence." He said, "Well," he said, "if I saw you giving one a carrot, I wouldn't say anything." He said, "It's more if you put out a whole heap of feed, like you feed them. So
Right,
you put
right.
out bales of hay or you put it so that they become reliant upon you." He said, "That's more
Exactly.
the issue. That's where someone would get into trouble." He said, "But certainly not for giving a wild horse an apple or a carrot." I went, "Oh, cool." I said, "Good to know." So, but of course, I don't feed the horses.
Yes.
And if I do, it's just because I've already got a little bit of hay in my hands and I'm going over to the donkeys and these horses bump me and then I drop it.
Ah, this big clumsy animals.
You
We
know,
know.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Big, clumsy animals and they bump
But I mean,
me. But,
and that is why you're not supposed to feed them is because if they
yeah,
become
you're
and
not,
that you shouldn't feed any wild animal to be honest because
to be
they'll
honest, you
get
shouldn't.
reliant on you and
But mind you, a lot of
it's
these animals live here anyway. Like they've got their little territories. I think the wild horses, once it gets really cold here, I think they go down the mountain more. Um,
probably
uh, but having said that, I know Connie's horses don't. They live up here. They're in the middle of I don't know how they survive, but they do. And the coats that the horses get on them, poor, really thick. They're starting to get their winter coats now, and it's super thick. Um,
wow.
yeah, but yes, it's annoying, Tanya, when the horses bump you
Just
and the food falls out. Like, it's just so annoying. But yeah, but I would hardly think the little handful that falls on the ground is going to make them reliant upon anything,
No.
because they know where to go. Like, even when they come over in the morning, they're warm to the touch. So they've obviously, I mean, they're warm-blooded animals, but they've obviously got somewhere that they know they're covered in, and they huddle together, and they're fine. So, hi, Blue Sky Lisa. But yeah, so, but I love horses. I love all animals. I just think they're gorgeous. But if I lived here, I would, and I could, if I could ever buy something here, I would definitely buy just a little house, and but hopefully have a bit of land behind it, get it all fenced in, and then build some sheds with doors, and maybe some heaters in there.
Sure, sure.
Um, some water bowls that are heated in the winter so they don't get
Of course.
frozen, which is happening now with the
Yeah.
water, all that sort of thing. And if wild animals happen to walk through my gates and walk into those areas, then I shall claim them as mine, as they are on my property. And I will shut the gate, and I will pay the necessary $300 per wild horse to have them and look after them
Three
and
hundred
make sure
dollars
they.
for what is this? $300 for
Well,
what?
apparently, if you want a wild horse and you get a wild horse, I'm not sure. I was told it's $300. There is a fee. So, for example, say I lived here and that horse that I call Nippy got to, like, I fell in love with Nippy. I could get I think it's a permit and you pay, but you can. If you can catch it and if you can keep it and look after it, you can pay whoever it is, the government, I guess, $300, and the horse is yours. I,
Is
I
it
personally, yeah, I don't
is it
think I'd
a
like
is
to
it a
do that.
300 one-time deal, or is it like
I
300
think
every
so.
year or
No,
something
I
like that?
think it's a one-time deal
That
because
would actually be a bargain, I would think.
I
300
don't think
bucks.
so. But the thing is, I don't think I'd like to do that. I don't even think I'd like to keep them penned up
Yeah, you
because
wouldn't do
you see them wander and they're happy. But mind you, you do see people driving their cars and come to a stop, like these are local people, come to a stop because the horses are on the road. Beep, 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 and they yell at the horses. And I think, be patient, just edge forward. They move
those
out of the
damn
way.
Californians again.
It probably is the damn Californians. And I just think, what's wrong with you? You're living in this beautiful town that has these magnificent animals just willy-nilly walking around doing really no harm. So they poop on the road or whatever. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop. Like, grow a brain. Like, if you don't
That's
like it, F off.
for a
You
small
know?
town like that and being remote like that. I mean, that's actually part of the charm. Is where are you going that you're in such a hurry that you gotta beep at the horse, at a
Like a
wild
wild
horse? I
horse.
mean, come
Yeah,
on.
like,
Yeah.
I'm probably in a hurry to get to the local saloon for a beer or something. I don't
That
know.
don't
But
make that
I
don't
don't even
make you a
think.
bad person.
Oh, well, I think they're living in this great town. They're up in the middle of nowhere, wild horses and deer. There's people like myself who would give anything to live here and see that every day. That wouldn't bother me. I'd think, oh, cool. And I'd call them names, like I've already named half of them. And I'd say, get out the way, come on. And they do. If you say, come on, they understand. Like, they were halfway up the road the other day on the road near Connie's, and I was walking home from the coffee shop back to Connie's, and I saw him on the road, and I could see cars coming up from the other end, and I thought, oh, I'm going to see people go beep, beep, beep. So I walked over, Nippy, my favourite. I've gone, come on. And I started to walk off, and I thought, oh, they're not going to follow me, but they did follow me. And they followed me in a line on the side of the road. So those cars still went fast. I thought, you're stupid. It just takes
Yeah,
them to
that's
freak out. Like, just take it. And they followed me back here, and I didn't feed them, but I wanted them out the way. And that's what bothers me. that people are gonna, and they complain, oh, they get hit and blah blah. And I'm thinking, yeah, have you seen the way these idiots drive? They know there's wild horses. Don't drive like a dickhead. Like, take it easy. There's signs everywhere.
Yeah.
Drive carefully. Wild horses.
I mean,
And if you don't like it, don't live here. Like, go
I've
away, because
seen
that's part of what Virginia City is.
I've
So there
seen
you go.
plenty of
Yes, well, I
cars get totally jacked up from hitting a deer. I can't imagine hitting a horse. You'd be
Well,
screwed.
it'd be 10, yeah. And the deer are tricky little dickies. I was driving to feed the chickens at the Mackey Mansion. I was driving to do that for my friend Connie the other night. And, but I drive 10 miles per hour, like slow, because I know they're up there. And even at 10 miles per hour, the deer can still kind of go in front of you because
Yeah,
they
they
get a
will.
fright. But you're going slow enough. You're really going slow enough at 10 mile an hour that you can brake, and you might, if they were unlucky enough, you might clip them or something. But if I had
Right.
been going faster, like 20 or 25, damn sure I would have probably hit one or two. So, because the deer are kind of flighty, like our kangaroos, they have no road sense. The horses are smarter. They will get out of your way, but you just got to be patient and don't bip at them and be an asshole, because that doesn't make them move quicker. It doesn't. They kind of like, oh, where do we go?
If
So,
if anything, I would think that would startle them, which you wouldn't want to do either.
yeah, no, just let them, you just move, edge your car, and they move out the way. And if they don't, you just move a bit closer. And then they do. They do move out the way. So, yeah. Yeah, well, our wild Grumpy Bear's just saying maybe a Brumby when I get home. But
What is
our
a
wild
Brumby? I don't know what that is.
a Mustang, a wild
Ah,
horse. Yeah, but we call them Brumbies. You call them Mustangs, yeah?
mhm.
But I know, I don't, I saw one of my friends who lives in Victoria said at the moment they're culling our Brumbies. So helicopters are going in to chase them out, and big men with their guns, are shooting them. So, I just don't understand. The world's gone to hell in a handbag.
Yep.
People have forgotten about being kind. Not all people, though.
So, if you come back in June, are you going to come over for like another 4 weeks? Is that like does that make it like worth it? I know that's a long time to get stuck in a tube going and coming back from Australia. So
Yeah,
you gotta be here for a period of time to make it worth it.
to make it worth it, because it's $3,500 airfare. Like, that's a lot of money. It's worth it when I get here, but yeah, I think I'd make it for another 4 weeks, so it's worth it. And I've got friends here now, so I don't need to worry about accommodation or anything like that. Just really popping in my fair share of food, and I think I've purchased enough stuff, except that when I go into the antique stores, yeah, I get a little bit carried away, like, because it's
It's easy to
American
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll control myself
Speaking of
next time.
which,
I just want to come. Yeah, I just want to come here and see the horses again, and see the people I've fallen in love with a lot of people in the town. It's a beautiful place. If I could live here, I would. If I could move to America, I
well,
would. But I've got too much stuff. Yeah, I
yeah,
know, Tanya. It's not a quickie, is it? Do you want me to
eh,
go, Tanya?
for a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
over an
It is a
hour,
lot.
that's actually a quickie for you. So
That is a quickie for me. But yeah, so I don't know. And again, I hope to get back in June. I may not. I might not be able to afford it because it's a lot of money.
because
But I sacrifice things at
if you
home.
come over for June, you might as well stay until the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, that's an idea. Oh yeah, 4th of July in Virginia City. I'm told it's really good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Stormy just said basically, no, don't go. We love you, Karen and Enzo. It's all right. I'll stay on. I'll give it another 20 minutes. How's that? Oh, 10
Oh,
minutes. I don't know, 10 minutes. It's costing me a fortune for data, so
I
I've got to be
know. I was about to
careful.
say you're the one that said I
Yeah,
did.
so far I think, well, I keep seeing a little thing flash up every time I use 1,000. So I've seen it. There it goes again. So I've seen it flash 5 times since I've been on, and it's only $10 1,000, but still, if that's what
Adds
I'm
up.
using, so if it's costing me, Yeah, it's costing me around about $60 or something. So it's not, it's whatever. But still, I'm still scared that that's not actually
So
correct. That I might be missing something.
yeah, that would stink. So you're actually leaving tomorrow then? You head back?
No, what's today? Thursday, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Friday in Australia. No, Saturday. So my plane takes off from Reno. I've got to be at the airport by about 1:30 p.m. So I'll get to have coffee at the roasting house, and I'll have my favourite. I get a scrambled breakfast, they call it in the thing. And if Robert, oh look, they all cook lovely, but I love Robert's cooking the most. And it's scrambled breakfast. That's what it's called. So it's basically scrambled eggs with mushroom, bacon, tomato, like all mashed up together, and it's
Yeah,
really
that's
yummy.
great.
And yeah, so I have that with my mocha coffee, and then if I'm lucky and they've made some scones, American scones, Tanya, not like our scones.
What's the
Um,
difference?
big difference, big difference.
Really?
Our scones, yeah, our scones that we have to put cream and butter on are more like your biscuits. You know, your biscuits
Oh,
and
okay.
gravy biscuits.
Hmm.
Yeah, except high, like they're you can't like a high, like a big, like fluffy, like and you break them in
Right.
half, and when they're hot, and you put on butter and jam and cream. But but I noticed that the biscuits are very much like our scones, just not as high. So maybe they don't put as much. Like we use self-raising flour, but I think
Hmm.
when you make your biscuits, you just use all-purpose flour, maybe because they don't
Yeah.
rise. Like it doesn't rise, but we put
Right.
more baking soda, so our scones are yeah. But that's kind of like it is. But your scones are more like, oh, well, how would I, like a slice, like if we baked a slice, because they're generally thin, but they're yummy. They're nice. This morning I had a lemon. Oh no, this morning I
Oh.
had a raspberry and white chocolate scone
Ooh, that
this
sounds
morning.
fancy.
Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah.
Stormy says I'd rather have those biscuits than scones any day.
I'm a
Yeah,
biscuits and gravy guy
but
myself, but
biscuits and gravy. So that's different. Yeah, biscuits and gravy. So yeah, your biscuits are like our scones. So I know that
yes.
if you ever came to visit me, I could cook up some flat scones and make the
Flat.
gravy, and it'd be biscuits and gravy. Yeah. Uh,
Well, that's the thing is if I were to go to Australia, I wouldn't want American style food. I'd want however it is that like you guys would have it. That's part of the experience.
Yeah, well, I take you and get you a hamburger with a lot, including pineapple and beetroot, or beets. I think that you call them beets, but we call it beetroot.
Oh,
So a hamburger with a lot, yeah, hamburger with a lot has, your lettuce, tomato, the meat, a piece of bacon, cheese, a slice of pineapple, like a big round slice of pineapple, and some beetroot, lettuce, tomato sauce or ketchup. That's basically and an egg. And so that's a
I was about
hamburger
to
with a lot
say the egg is usually where it
and
comes
the
in
egg.
there.
Yeah. And fish and chips, which are a little bit. You get fish and chips here. Fish and chips. I went to Applebee's the other day. You probably saw that.
Huh?
But my friend Connie had fish and chips. Your fish and chips tend to be battered a little bit differently. Like not really different batter, but it's kind of a bit different. Our
It's
fish and
it's
chips are
it's
cooked a bit
batter dipped
differently.
versus breaded, where you just roll it. I think is
Yeah,
probably
well,
the
we
difference.
you can go to one of our fish and chip shops, and you can say, "Can I please have a piece of flake?" And they'll say, "Do you want it grilled, or do you want it battered?" And you'll say, "Batter, please." Or you can have it breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs grilled, which has got nothing on it, and then battered. And the batter is a bit different. Your batter is like what we would get in a Chinese restaurant on our um, uh, chicken balls or whatever you call it, like a sweet and sour chicken
right,
ball. Like
right.
the chicken, it's a different batter. Yours is like a corn flour batter. Ours is just flour and milk, and it's a bit different. I think our fish and chips are nicer than American fish and chips. Um, but yeah, fish and chips, hamburger with the lot. We have pizza. But we do barbecues are a thing, sausages. Go to Bunnings and have a sausage in bread, which is your a link in
Yeah.
links. The only place we get your sausage is at McDonald's when we ask for sausage McMuffin, and it's your sausage.
Oh,
A sausage. Well, not your sausage. You know what I mean? American sausage.
hands
But
off
our
my sausage.
sausage is our sausage is a link. Yeah, chicken. Blue Sky says to Lisa says to chickens have balls. They probably do. They have giblets. I don't know. American chocolate compared to Australian chocolate. Yeah, Americans need to learn to make
Yeah,
chocolate.
our chocolate is
No,
not great. I'm not a chocolate
no, it's
fan
not very
all the
nice.
way around.
Yeah,
Dark
but
chocolate is
yeah,
okay. Milk, it's the milk. It's
Cadbury.
the milk chocolate is
It's
where
a
we screw it up.
yeah. Yes, yeah. Their milk chocolate. Yeah, no. Cadbury chocolate goes down a treat. I didn't bring any this time, but I've told the girls in the roasting house I'm going to send them a care package with Cadbury chocolate and Tim Tams and Vegemite. And I said to her, I try and get the little, you know how you have the little portions when you go into a restaurant, the tiny little
Yeah.
containers of jam.
Yep.
I said I'll
Yep.
try and get a box of those and send it to her so that she can give some of the customers the choice of, would you like Vegemite on toast? And I said to her, I'll send you a little video on Messenger to show you just how much Vegemite
There
to
is
put
a
on the
proper
toast.
way to do it. Yep.
There's a proper way to do it. You get Australians do it to Americans all the time. They'll make them a Vegemite something and as a joke put too much
Just
and you
slap it on
can't.
there. Yeah.
It's like, oh, but just a little bit is just nice. But yeah, I don't like dark chocolate. I love milk chocolate or white chocolate, like milky. I
White
like
chocolate's
we
good.
have Tanya, do you have milky bar chocolate in New Zealand? We have it's called Milky Bar, and so it's a very creamy white chocolate, but it's really creamy. It's really nice. When I was a little girl, there was an ad, and it was the Milky Bar Kid, and it was he was the one that's where it had a picture of a little boy on the front dressed up as a cowboy. You don't get that anymore either. I don't think many people remember the Vegemite, the Milky Bar Kid. But yeah. Oh, and
Wait a
Dream.
minute.
Yeah, I
You
like.
said you
Yeah.
you said you
Yep.
didn't
Go.
like American chocolate, but you talked earlier about Reese's cups.
Oh well, that's a bit different. That chocolate is
Is it?
no, that's
It's still milk chocolate.
well, it's still milk chocolate, but I think the peanut filling
Peanut butter.
overrides the peanut butter filling overrides the badness possibly of the chocolate. But it's not horrid chocolate, but I don't like Hershey bars. I don't like Hershey chocolate. It's just something off. I don't know what it is. But
I
yeah.
had some friends in Europe that would try it, and they were like, "Yeah, Hershey's milk chocolate. It's like the milk is bad. It's like it's spoiled milk is what they use. Is what it seems like to them."
Yeah, that's what it kind of tastes like. There's something just off about it. I love Swiss chocolate, like if it comes from
Oh,
Switzerland,
yeah,
like real,
sure.
because their milk, like they're up high, so there is a difference in the taste of the milk, and there's a difference in the taste of the chocolate, and it's delicious. So in the whole wide world, Swiss chocolate I think is the best, the milk chocolate, but Australian chocolate comes pretty close second. Uh, Yeah, I haven't seen. I haven't. I did buy. Oh, it's in my bag over there. I bought a pack of Reese's chocolate peanut butter cup things, whatever. But they're little, and it's got different.
Yep.
So I'm hoping there's some white chocolate ones in there, but they're
Ooh.
heavy. Like it's a kilo a bag. So I've got 2 kilos worth of Reese's in my the bag. I have to put on my shoulders and pretend it's a handbag. I can argue with the girls at the if they do happen to weigh my bag, I'll just go, yeah, but I'm going to eat that on the plane. Because I'm going to eat 2 kilos of chocolate on the plane, so it'll be gone.
Just little foil wrappers all around your seat and just smear it on your face.
But yeah, so But yeah, so everything's going wonderful here. I really am gonna have a bit of a sook when I cry every time I leave Virginia City, but I don't know. I don't know why. Like I am happy to go home. I want to go home, but I just wish home was just there. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like I love home, but I love here. And so I'm sort of torn when I leave. It's like I'm really sad. It's like I'm leaving home. And when I drove in, when I got picked up and we came into Virginia City, as soon as I saw the main street of Virginia City, I was like, ah, I'm home. It's the strangest feeling. And I've talked to a lot of people that have moved here from living elsewhere that have said that they came through simply for a visit, but something drew them back every time and they now
Wow.
live here. So it's interesting. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, Cheryl, yes, go cook dinner for mum. That's important because it would be dinner time. And I'm going to hop off in a minute anyway, Cheryl, so you won't miss much more. And when I get home, I'm going to try to get back to normal. I'll probably have jet lag for a few days, but I'm going
Oh
to
yeah.
try to get back to normal with Enzo. Enzo and I are going to dress up for the Christmas season, aren't we, Enzo? Oh, well, as you can
Yep.
see, Enzo already has.
I'm already there.
Yeah,
Gotta
Enzo
have
already has.
lights.
Yes, he does. He lights up. And I've got a little outfit I got in Walmart here. I was telling Enzo about. So I'm going to have lights around my neck too. It's like a little Santa suit, but it's not. It's black with all red trimmings and stuff, but it's got the little, like, it's just like overalls. That's what you call it. What do you call them here? Overalls? Like,
Overalls, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's like a pair of overalls, but it's got the little lights.
If you're
So
older,
I'll wear that.
dungarees.
Sort of like that, yeah, and it does up the top. And then I've got a shirt similar to Enzo's, but it's pink and it's got Santa's on a surfboard. So I'll wear that too for the
Santas.
Christmas season. Hey, what day does Christmas fall this year? What day is Christmas Day?
Let me take a look real fast. 25th is a Monday.
So Christmas Day, that's Christmas Day, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
shit. Yeah,
20 Christmas
24th is
Day.
Christmas Eve.
That'll be a Sunday.
All right. So if you're available, we'll do a little Christmas cheer and have a
Yeah,
little toast to Christmas on the Friday before.
we can do that.
And yeah, that'll be fun. But I'm hoping to get back to being on Fridays talking to you, Enzo. Yeah. I
I
miss
look
it. I
forward
love
to it.
sitting here talking. Yeah. And
Oh,
I
it's
know
great.
that, I know a lot of people drop off because I think, shit, it's been 2 hours and she hasn't shut up. That's okay. That's okay. Yes,
Well,
Grumpy Bear,
I
who
look
knows? Could
I
be.
look forward to see all of your video and stuff that it's all once it's all compiled and put together. Once you get back home
Yeah.
and all your
And I
adventures.
yeah, and I've made a few new friends too that I'll try and get on some live streams with who they also have YouTube channels.
Oh,
So they're fun. One boy lives in Las Vegas, and he's got a channel called I wish I had have sent him told him I was on. Hang on, shit. Uh, doesn't matter. I'll tell you next time because I talked to him for my 5 haunting questions as well. I did ask Aaron Sagers, is his name, if he wanted to do my 5 haunting questions, and he said he did, but then he tactfully avoided me on the day we were supposed to do it. So I thought, oh, well, I guess sometimes we all just get a little bit too big for our boots, don't we? That's how I felt, yeah. But that's okay. Just don't say you will if you're not going to. Just say I haven't got time. Don't say, oh yeah, no worries, and then don't do it. I think that's rude. No, I did not find Gizmo at Walmart, Grumpy Bear. He was there, but they sold out. They kept having him on a Black Friday sale, and I'd go in and he wasn't there. So I'm going to have to, when I can afford to, I'm going to have to just go to Amazon. These little gizmo things dance like they're a motion sensor in them. So when you walk past them, they go, like, gizmo.
oh, okay.
And they sell them in Walmart for $30, right? The exact same thing on Amazon is $90.
What?
Exact same thing. And I thought, you're kidding. And I showed the guy in Walmart, and he goes, what? He said, what a markup. And I said, and that's not with postage. Like, that's not postage put into it yet.
Jeez.
So Amazon, geez, bit of a rip-off.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's an idea. I've got to pass Tanya for Dream World and all that. I might go there and see if there's one there. But bloody Dream World. Dream World are like theme park type things. We have Movie
Oh,
World, like you have, the big in LA. They have their movie things. We've got Movie World, Dream World, Wet and Wild, Sea World, and I can't remember. Lots of worlds. Oh, hey, Sarah. Well, you've just woken up to me saying, see you later. Sarah's in England, So
oh,
Maisie's probably
just
just
waking up
waking
there.
up as well. Yeah. But you can rewatch. I haven't gone too long. So if you're bored, you can rewatch our little live on while you're having a shower or something. I don't know what you do in the morning. But yeah, so I've got a lot of fun things to put together, and so a lot of work to do, a lot of editing to do, but I'm going to do it, so I should have some pretty good interesting things for people to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait to
And
see it.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it all together, and I'm looking forward to seeing if I can organise something like that for next year, where a whole heap of us can meet up in Virginia City and have something really interesting set up to do. um, so we'll see what happens. Either way, I intend
All
to get
right.
back to America. So,
We
when do
welcome you
oh,
back
you
with
don't
open
have your
arms.
elections until, yeah, you don't have your elections until next
That's
November, do you?
that's right. Still got
Yeah,
a year.
yeah,
You come in June, you'll be
darn. So
okay.
we've got to, yeah, bloody hell, bloody hell. Hopefully, America fixes itself up after November. Um, but yeah, but it's all good. So, all right, you hang in there, Enzo. Don't disappear. And Sarah, Tanya, thank you as usual. I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone that I can see. I'm not sure who's still here, but Grumpy Bear's here, so I'll see you again, Grumpy Bear, Grumpy Bear, and Tanya, and Sarah, and Lisa, and Stormy. I feel like, who was that person on a TV show that used to hold a mirror up?
Romper room is what we had in the
Romper
states, where she had
Room.
the magic mirror that would.
We had
She
Romper
she
Room
never
too, and a
said my
show.
name.
She never said Karen to me either. But I feel like her at the minute. So um, I think everybody's basically gone. Cheryl had to go because she went to cook her mum dinner. And Julie, yes, please keep the pain at bay. That would be excellent because there's nothing worse. But I think, yeah, so if I've missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I can't see you at the moment in the chat. But thanks for tuning in and listening to me and Enzo chat back and forward. And everything should be back to normal by next Friday night, but it'll be from me in my garage with the cats meowing. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be back to the dogs and the cats.
Are are your Halloween decorations still up in the garage?
Yes, I've got it. I'll have to replace them with, yeah, I'll have to replace those with Christmas decorations. So there you go. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, I should have it. I think it'll be okay. So long as it doesn't snow here too much and make me miss my LA flight, I wouldn't be happy. But I mean, I would be happy, but not really, because I think that would end up costing me a fortune. So we'll see. Thanks, Tanya, again. And yeah, good night, everybody, or good morning to everybody in England. And I love you lots. And thanks for putting up with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.